1 week until the bull is back. You have to be patient for at least 1 more week, and then we're going to pump to the upside. Ethereum, altcoins, and other cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, are going to go up together with the stock market. Currently, we're in the most difficult period psychologically to hold and buy cryptocurrencies because every single day, altcoins are worth less and less, and we don't really know whether we are in a bull or a bear market. That's the emotion that most people have in the crypto market right now. But the cycles tells us that we are bottoming right now, and this exact pattern unfolded multiple times before, and cycles show us how far we are from the turning point. 1 week cycle indicator and the 2 week cycle indicators that you can see on the screen are currently preaching the bottom. When these two indicators meet below 20, investor sentiment is fully reset. It doesn't really matter whether we are going to go into a bear market. Potentially we might retest $4 trillion area on the crypto total market cap and we are going to go down, or we're going to continue the bull market. Most important decisions can be made by using these cycle indicators. You want to buy the bottoms of them and you want to sell when they top, regardless of the price. If you want to get access to those indicators, you go to strategymasters.io. You subscribe right here by clicking this button, gift a subscription, or by clicking subscribe button at the top right corner. You want to get access to those cycle indicators as quick as possible because right now we are in the turning point. Crypto market is going to pump for one last time before the bear market of 2026. See, stock market and the crypto market, they're very correlated, especially in the last few years. They're both seen as risk-on assets. When investors are risking their capital, they're going up, and when investors want to preserve their capital, they sell, and both assets are going down. Last time this weakness could be observed in March and April 2024 when the stock market actually started collapsing from 6,000 points to basically below 5,000 points at 20% drawdown, and Bitcoin in the same time also did roughly 30% reset. Every single time when the stock market goes down, crypto also faces difficulties. Right now, in the last 3 weeks, we printed 3 red candles for the stock market. And look at the crypto market, look at Bitcoin, 3 pot candles to the downside. Crypto market is much more volatile. Having this information in place, we want to understand where the stock market is going to go next, and we want to understand the cycles of the stock market. The most interesting thing is that we are at the very end of the bull market for the stocks, which means that we cannot be too much allocated in crypto right now. You don't want to risk all your portfolio because we're at the very, very end. Within the next few months, we are going to make a top. Crypto might rally for another few weeks, January, February 2026, but then it's going to collapse to the downside like it does every 4 years. Why I am so sure that stock market is going to go down? Because I simply zoom out the chart and I use the same cycle indicators. Once the 2-week cycle indicator starts trending down and starts doing lower lows, I understand that we can also expect the same thing from the price. Plus, the stock market goes down every 4.5 years. It goes into a bear market, and these numbers can be observed from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. You have exactly the same cycles in the stock market that you had 30 and 40 years ago. These indicators measuring the cycles quite well. In 2018, the bear market actually was very, very quick. Within 2 months, we fully reset. We went down by 25%, and we resumed to the upside. Here was a corona crash. You see, the previous bear market occurred in 2021 when we went down by 25%. Again, the bear market took slightly more than half a year, and currently we are expecting the next bear market to occur in the beginning of the year of 2026 and end somewhere in November, December 2026. Similar to crypto market, here we can see total crypto market cap. We had the bear market in 2022, and we also had the bear market in 2018. Exactly same pattern. Every 4 years, we enter into a bear market. Current behavior is a bit bearish. It looks like we're entering bear market right now, but I'm sure that it is not the case just yet, and I'm sure that we are going to bounce within 1 week from now to the upside. All indicators are showing oversold on the cryptocurrency market. Most of the indicators are showing oversold on the stock market. Now, stock market is going to continue rallying within 1 week from now. Crypto market is going to follow. Not every single time crypto market follows 1-to-1. It might have a lag of 1 or 2 weeks, but from recent years, we can see that Bitcoin and altcoins, they follow stock market. Now, one difference was in 2024. In August, the stock market made a bottom at 5,000 points and started rallying immediately in August. It made a cycle bottom on the weekly cycle indicator, didn't even wait for the 2-week cycle, and continued rallying up. Now, if I enter into the same chart on the Bitcoin, I can see a similar pattern. However, in August, we made a bottom, we went up, and we collapsed down in September. We did not make a new low. However, we didn't rally just yet. We started rallying somewhere in the middle of September, and we made crazy returns for every single investor, exactly 1 year ago. Now, stocks did exactly the same thing. And in February, everything collapsed. Same thing happened last year. The same thing is going to repeat the upcoming year. So to answer your question, when is it the right time to risk? It is now. I am risking now. I enter into Ethereum and Bitcoin positions. I don't want to go into altcoins just yet because the uptrend is not confirmed. And the best time to go into altcoins is when Bitcoin and Ethereum have confirmed the bullish market. Now, the bullish market is going to be confirmed within 1 week from this 1 week cycle and the 2 week cycle indicators. They're going to start pumping up, and we can expect a very bullish and positive time for Bitcoin in December and January. Depending on where we are going to top, we can then decide whether it's a bear market or it's a continuation of the bull market. Now, if the 1 week cycle indicator tops in January, somewhere around 115, 117K area, I will start selling everything I have, including altcoins and Bitcoin, and I'll be waiting for the bottom of the weekly cycle indicator once again, because this will be a first real identification that the bull market has ended. In case the price starts rallying, goes to all-time high, well, then I'm happy holding my backs and riding to 135 or potentially 150K area. I know it's crazy to think about these numbers. I know you cannot see Bitcoin at 125, 135K or even 150K area. But the reality is that Bitcoin pulls unexpected moves every single time. Look at what happened last summer. Last summer was completely crazy. But once we bottom in the 2 weekly cycle indicator, we resume to the upside with force. Just with 3 weekly candles, we already were up by 25%. After a short reset, we made additional 5-6 weekly candles up. We were up by 80%. This happened to Bitcoin after a long consolidation phase. After 33% pullback, when everybody was shouting, hey, are we entering the bear market? People think about bear market every single time when we are in consolidation phase. That's because they don't understand the 4-year cycle and because they don't have access to the cycle indicators. If you like this content, subscribe to my channel. I talk about cycles, I talk about crypto, Bitcoin, altcoins, and I also share some of my trades. I tell when I'm entering and when I'm selling. Here, 3 months ago, I was talking about the last pump that will happen for Bitcoin. Here I was talking about selling my Ethereum in August 12th, where I sold my Ethereum at the very top of the market. All this using cycle indicators. It's not complicated, it's easy to understand, and you can do it yourself at home. Also get a subscription at Strategy Master, which will give you access to all the articles that I write about Bitcoin, altcoins, gold, and stocks, and also provide you access with cycle indicators. To finish off this video, I quickly want to talk about Ethereum and altcoin markets. Similar situation to what will happen to Bitcoin, similar situation will happen to altcoins. Altcoins don't look weak. If your altcoin went down by 30%, it doesn't mean that altcoin market is weak. Ethereum is a perfect example for this. Ethereum is holding this green line perfectly. Look, there was so much weakness in Bitcoin in the last few weeks, but Ethereum just holded its ground. It went down to $3,000 area, which is normal because we have this ratio, Ethereum and Bitcoin ratio. Currently, the ratio is sitting at 0.033 and it's holding the ground. Ideally, we want to see this ratio by the end of this bull market to sit at 0.05. And if that happens, I would call this bull market a successful bull market. If you compare the previous bull markets, you can see that we went up and we reached the 0.12 ratio for Bitcoin and Ethereum. In the previous bull market, we actually went and reached 0.08. In this bull market, we just managed to reach 0.04, which doesn't really make sense, does it? There is a difference of 50%. Well, it's not logical. I expect Ethereum to at least test the 0.05 area. If that happens, Ethereum might go to over $6,000. And if you don't believe me, just do the math yourself. You simply write 125,000 area for Bitcoin. Let's consider Bitcoin's all-time high. And we multiply it with 0.05. And Ethereum suddenly sits at $6,250. In case Bitcoin goes to 150K and continues this bull market, Ethereum will sit at 7,500. Most probably at the very top, it will not spend that much time there. But again, hey, it's more than 100% return. And in case Bitcoin only goes and retests 100K area, and then Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin, as it usually happens at the end of the bull market, while Ethereum will reach $5,000. Ethereum at $5,000, it's really not that bad. It will give you enough time to unwind and unload your altcoin and Ethereum positions and prepare for the upcoming bear market. To finish off this video, I want to show what happens when you buy Ethereum when these two cycle indicators go below 20. Every single time when both indicators go below 20, Ethereum makes a bottom. And after this bottom, it explodes to the upside. The worst explosion that I've seen in the past few years happened during the bear market of 2022. Ethereum went only by 62% up. Imagine in the middle of the bear market when these two indicators aligned together here and here, Ethereum went up by only 62%. Now imagine if we're in the bear market right now and if we're gonna get the same result what we've got the previous bear market, Ethereum will be almost at $5,000. And that's the bear case scenario. So you see, the bear case is not that bad. The bull case is much better. If you wanna follow along and see what trades I'm actually doing, follow my next videos and see you in the next one.